This week's podcast is brought to you by the Tracy Area Chamber of Commerce. The train is coming to town. The world's only boxcar days is coming Labor Day weekend. Midway, food, softball tournament, mud volleyball tournament, beer tent, free street dance Saturday night, Kids Day in the Park Sunday, Miss Tracy program Sunday evening, and the annual parade on Monday at 1 p.m. sharp. August 29th through September 1st, there is something for everyone. You don't want to miss out. Join us in Tracy for the world's only boxcar days Labor Day weekend.
Welcome to the 5th edition of the Headlight Hot Seat. Today's guest is first-year football coach Ryan Kruse. Thanks for joining us, Ryan.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Like I just told you, I don't really listen to podcasts or haven't listened to any. So besides yours, so I thought that was pretty cool to be on it.
Appreciate you taking some time. I know this is the time of year when football, volleyball, cross-country coaches are extremely busy, but what's your practice schedule like? It's all in the morning?
Yeah, we go 6:30 to 1, and they have breaks in there, and we have a little time off in between, but pretty much 6:30 to 1 those first 2 weeks. So we're just getting to the end of those, and then it's after school, so...
Okay. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself, Ryan? Your kind of personal life, as much as you want to divulge, your family and education and whatnot?
Yeah. I grew up in South Dakota, Lenox, South Dakota, which is a smaller town around Sioux Falls. It's getting bigger now, but when I was there, it was a small town about this size of Tracy. So I have three brothers that were around my age. So we just played in the yard, played sports and stuff all the time. When I got done with school, I went to Dakota State.
Go Trojans.
Yep.
Olivia
made a good choice there. I always try to get a lot of people to go there, and I don't end up doing it. And we always go to our summer camp, football camp there. So that's always fun for me. But anyway, I graduated there, played some football. Not a lot of football because I was injured most of the time. So, but I got to help coach a year because of that. It was a small school, and I was an older guy, so they let me help with the receivers for one year, and that's where I was already going to be a teacher and a coach, but that year doing that, I just really, really kind of fell in love with it. So, and then right after college, I applied for some jobs, and one was Tracy, one was somewhere in South Dakota. I don't even remember. And
doesn't matter now.
I know they were Panthers because all three schools I applied at were Panthers, and one was like Kansas City, which I really didn't want to do. I wanted to be in a small town like I grew up in, and so the Tracy one was perfect for me. I didn't know a lot about Tracy at the time, except I lived with Jake Peter Ryans for a year, so I knew Jake.
Stories.
Yeah, Jake, and his dad Mike was a teacher at the school when I got here, and but other than that, and we actually played them in high school football once when I was a senior. So
they're Dakota State alum too.
Yeah,
they're pretty prolific. They mean Hall of Fame stuff.
Yep. And so, so that's kind of who I knew when I got to town. But and Katie Lanu, not Lanu anymore, but John's sister, Katie, they played volleyball at DSU at that same time.
Okay.
So I was up for a wedding once, and got the job in Tracy, and been here ever since. Met my wife.
What year was that? Sorry.
06, I think, was my first year.
So 20 years.
Yeah, this was. I thought this was my 20th year coming up. Yeah. I'm getting old, so.
Oh, we all are. Okay, go ahead. Continue with your wife.
Met my wife when I was here. So she's from Curry, and so now we in Tracy, and then we just have one son, Jackson, who's about to be 15. So
watch out for those Curry girls.
Yeah, That's what I heard. Yeah.
Yeah, shout out to DSU. I didn't know anything about DSU before Olivia and Tara and I visited, and it's a great little school. It's like the perfect size, buried into the town, like residential, blends into the campus. I like that school.
I had a great time there. I thought it was awesome, and now they're really updating things
Oh.
there. And
You missed out on that.
yeah, it was not like that when I was there, but now it's getting really a great place to be. I think for facilities and stuff.
Speaking of facilities, I'm going to go off schedule a little bit. Turf or grass?
I like grass probably better, but the turf is, I think, just so much easier. Like when we had the rain here a few days ago, we wouldn't be worrying about whether we could play in a few days type of thing. And it's just always ready.
Yeah,
So
that field took on a lot of
Yeah,
water. I
yeah.
took some pictures of it. And I think the water was surrounding the field goal post too at the south or the north end.
yeah, and today when I was out there, it was all gone, and
Really?
I'm sure it's still wet. I didn't walk out there, but I'm sure it's still wet. But the standing water was gone. So
Okay. Well, and like I mentioned with Bill last time, we had a good groundskeeper out there. Jim really takes care of all the campus really nice.
yeah, for sure they do awesome work out there.
Let's switch over to coaching. Okay, so you're the head basketball coach, boys. Took over for Mr. Haberman a couple years ago. What was that? Everything you thought it would be when you tried to fill his shoes? I knew at the time you had a lot of great players coming up, but just being the head guy for the first time, what was that like for you?
Yeah, that was kind of unexpected. That wasn't something I was looking for at the time. I mean, I guess when I started coaching, that kind of that's one of the goals, and I be a head coach, and but at that point, I was really pretty happy just doing what I was doing at the B squad. So that was kind of unexpected, came up, and I've had a lot of fun doing it the last 2 years. And yeah, we had some really good players the last couple of years, and that made it easy to do, but it wasn't something I was expecting at the time. So
Yeah, and those darn rebels over in Slayton got in the way.
yeah.
I still can't believe the way that your season has ended over and over again. It's just-
We don't need to talk about that
Okay,
probably, but
let's move on. Let's move on to a different sport, which is why we're here this morning. Football, taken over from Coach Kynes. Well, I shouldn't call him coach anymore, but he still helps with the program, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's doing our junior high.
Okay.
He's him and Rylson are doing our junior high, so he's still coaching and still helping.
I can call him coach then.
Yep.
I have a habit of I still call Rick coach.
Yep.
I
Well,
don't
you
know.
should. He is a coach. He's a coach. He's not really coaching anything right now. He is a coach. So
Yeah, Rick's a great guy. I think everyone can agree on that.
for sure.
So when did you start as an assistant with Kynes? Or was it Kynes when you started? Was he?
No. When I started, it was Flan and Mac
Flan.
were the co-head coaches, and Kynes was an assistant. So that was like I started right away in 06 and I was like the C squad coach at that time. I mean, we can barely get a B squad now, but we had C squad back then. So that was technically my job, but with C and B squad, and then as C squad disappeared, then I kind of moved up to B squad. And then when those guys both left that same year and Kynes got the job, then I started working under him as the defense coordinator for a few years, and then offense the last, I don't know, 6 years maybe or something like that. But
You came to Tracy kind of knowing you were going to coach.
yes, yeah,
Probably
that
football.
that was yep. When I got, or when I applied, and that was part of the contract was the football coaching, and then So I knew that, and that's what I
Okay.
wanted to do. So
So obviously, first year coach this year. How different is it? What's different about this year entering the 25-26 season compared to when you were an assistant, or is there not much difference?
yeah, a lot of people ask that question, and I don't. It doesn't feel that much different to me. Like as you get to August and it's getting close, like I feel like I was doing the same things, getting ready, just like our assistant coaches are now. Like you got to get your practice stuff ready, or what you're gonna run in your system or whatever, all that ready. And so I I didn't feel that much different about it. Really all it is a lot of other stuff on top of it, that the stuff that probably nobody really wants to do, type of stuff, that you get stuck with as the head coach. But
Working with the media is probably a
yeah,
big
yeah,
thing.
having to go on podcasts and stuff like that. But yeah, I don't feel different. I mean, you know, when we go out there on that first game, it's going to feel the same to me. I feel like so.
I think that question would be kind of require an answer like it's a mental thing, and I don't. It doesn't sound like it's gotten into your head that you're not putting any extra pressure on yourself.
No, I think it's a team thing. It's like like we preach with the team. It's all about the team, and I think that's the way the coaches work too. And we got awesome ones that I work with that that do that are going to do their jobs,
And they have experience.
and have experience, and we've worked together, most of them. So it's just kind of the same. Feels
Yeah.
the same.
Yep. Coaches are Greenway and Ashbaugh, of course. Someone else joined the sidelines this year. Coach
Ty,
Kemp.
Yep, Ty Kemp is our other. Technically, he would be our B squad coach, but he's with the small school that everyone takes a position on offense and defense, and so he's working with us and he did junior high for a couple years before when he got here, and so that he's kind of the new guy, but he's been really awesome, and he's taken over our special teams and doing that. So
So what's Greenway doing now then?
Greenway is working with the O line and D line,
Okay.
and that's kind of a big job in our system because right now almost half our kids are like O line D line guys. It's like we have a lot of them and not as many skill guys. So like when we go out to practice in groups, like I might have 2 or 3 guys, and Kemp has 2 or 3 guys, and Ashbaugh has 2 or 3, and then Greenway's got like
I noticed
15.
that out there.
Yeah, on both sides of the ball. So with that, having to do that, and we talked about having Kemp do the special teams instead. So he didn't have as much with that, and he's still helping Kemp a lot with what he did last year and stuff like that. So
Yeah, I know Greenway did a great job with the special teams. He's very excitable, and I know the kids love him. The students in general at the school.
for sure.
X's and O's. I don't want you to give away anything, but are you changing a lot from Kynes from what he did on both sides of the ball, or
Offensively, is very similar because I've been doing the offense for a while, so
yeah,
there's not going to be a lot of changes, but it changes every year with the kids you have and what you're good at. So it sometimes looks a little different, but it's the system's pretty much the same type of thing.
Well, isn't it important to keep the system kind of similar because for the kids' sake?
I think so. Like we've had years where we could not throw, and we just basically had to run the ball every play. And then we've had like last year where
Last couple of
we
years.
struggled running and we threw it more than any high school team ever. You know, it seemed like
And you did it well.
yeah, and we just excuse me, we just it. But if you're watching, I feel like it looks a lot the same. It's just what you're doing more of and stuff. But that way, that the kids know what they're doing by year 2, 3, and if you can keep the same type of things, and then just add some new things in as you go.
What about your coaching style? I know Coach Kynes was, I don't know if laid back is the right word, but he'd get on the refs every once in a while in a kind of quiet manner. Are you okay? I'm gonna skip ahead here to this question because I wanted to get inside your head a little bit, Coach. I know two Ryan Kruses. I know the guy sitting here right now,
Yeah.
and I know the guy who I've seen on the sidelines of a football game. I mean, you've got a little Jekyll and Hyde thing going here. You're pretty fiery. I mean, whether it's an official call or whether it's one of the players, when does that switch get flipped? Because you're pretty mild mannered otherwise.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I I don't know when it gets switched, but it does sometimes, and I feel like when we need it, maybe, and sometimes with the refs, I'm just a idiot sometimes, but like,
You said it. I didn't. I wasn't gonna say idiot,
but
but you work the refs.
so,
Let's just put it
yeah,
that way.
sometimes when you're not doing well, sometimes you worry about the officials too much, and I've had those times, but try not to. But yeah, as far as the team goes, like I just feel like that they need that at times, and sometimes they don't, and whatever you can get. Whatever you can do to get them, fired up.
Yeah.
That's what I want to do, and I think, I don't get after them too often. So when I do, like I think it helps. Like I think
Sure.
they can,
You,
feel that and know they need to, improve or whatever.
well, do you think the working with the refs will change as a head coach now, or are you going to try to hold yourself back a little bit, or are you going to do the opposite? Or it's a tough question to answer because we're not on the field right now, and you don't know how you're going to react. But
You know,
you can't change your personality.
Yeah, like in basketball as a head coach, I probably talked to the refs less than I did with as an assistant with in football, and assistants aren't supposed to talk to the refs at all, and but so maybe that will be the same in football. Now that I'm the head coach, I'll leave them alone more. I don't know.
We'll see.
Yeah, like sometimes you get into that game and yeah, you just do what you do. But
We'll see on August 28th when you guys host the Wolverines of McRae. Can't wait. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm sure they always say, we hear the Vikings players in training camp, and they get sick of hitting each other. Is that like, they say it's cliche, but is that true to the guys? Or when you played, did you get sick of facing your teammates all the time and just couldn't chomping at the bit to get to that first game?
yeah, like it's like you're just doing the same thing over and over, and then like you're running through plays, and the other the guys on the other side know exactly what you're doing. So it's just and you're hitting the same guy every time, because like if you're the fullback and you're leading on the linebacker, it's the same guy every time.
Yeah.
So you just keep hitting those two keep hitting each other over and over and over. So it is nice to see somebody else, and I think that's why that first game is so fun all the time. It's
Nice
just
to have a home game too.
yeah, it's just a different. All of a sudden, it just ramps up so fast, and
Well, it's real.
yeah.
It's for keeps. It's for your record. Basketball and football. differences? You're still working a lot of the same kids, maybe a few. You got your Noah Knockmasses and your Zix who play both sports. Do you approach a season differently depending on the sport, depending on the kid, depending on the numbers,
Um,
as
I
far as philosophy goes?
yeah, I I think my philosophy in both has kind of been the same. So I feel like there's a lot of carryover between the two, and there's so many guys that do play both, like you said, that it it would be hard for me to preach one thing in football and then a whole different thing in basketball. I think you lose kids like, well,
Yeah.
that's not what you said during football. So I feel like kind of the way we play in both, not that they're the same sport, but like the way we're gonna do things is very similar. So even though they're different games, but
Different indeed. The numbers are kind of low this year.
yeah, we got 27, 9 through 12, which is pretty low, but it's kind of been trending that way throughout the last few years. Just keeps going down a few. It seems like every year, and hopefully next year we got a big 8th grade class, and hopefully everyone's still around, and that those numbers will go up again. But we've played seasons with 27 before and had good seasons. I can think of one year where I remember talking before the game and saying, it's all 27 of us. I remember that number. So I know we've had good years with little numbers, and it makes it hard sometimes in practice and for the B squad especially, I think. But it is what it is. It's the guys that are out there that matter. So.
And football's a tough sport to have low numbers, obviously, with injuries. We saw a lot of them last year. Let's see, Cy went down for a while. Swenhagen went down.
Yeah.
Am I missing someone who?
Dalton was hurt.
Timmerman, yeah. He didn't play much at all. That had to be disappointing for especially the seniors.
Yeah. By the end of the season, we had, just 2 seniors were playing in that last game. So, which is nice for this year because there are a lot of experience coming back. That guys that played some or a lot, and but yeah, we just haven't had big classes of seniors lately, and then last year with the injuries, we were really low. So, but
I haven't broken down number of seniors, juniors, sophomores. Are you looking to play a lot of younger kids this year? You think you have to rely on them because of the numbers?
well, we are relying on some sophomores and freshmen for sure, because they are gonna be vital backups, maybe play some, and a lot of special team stuff. So, but our 5 seniors that we have and our 6 juniors, I think we have 6 juniors.
Okay.
Or no, maybe it's eight juniors. But all those kids are gonna play a lot of minutes, whether they're starters on offense or defense, and a lot are on both. They're all gonna play a lot, and then we have some good younger kids to mix in with them. But so I wouldn't say relying on the younger kids, but we are, because those things that they're gonna be doing are gonna be important for us.
It's probably every year is probably kind of similar when you got a couple of freshmen running in and out a lot, playing specific downs.
Yeah.
It's not going to be all senior guys,
No.
And you did lose a lot of good skill players last year, didn't you?
Yeah. Obviously, Trevor at quarterback. By the end of his senior year, I don't think anybody was playing quarterback as good as him anywhere.
Which is nice because he started a little shaky last year.
Yeah.
At Dawson.
Yeah, that was not a good way to start the season, but
He holds so many records, and
he did. Yeah.
You can't replace a guy like that, can you?
No, he was so good. I mean, he just kept getting better. And I should talk some trash about him because
Go
I
ahead.
was just talking to him. He dropped off his jersey and he was making fun of me for having to do a podcast. And he's like, I'm going to listen to it. And I said, okay, but
Well, I regret. I wish we would have started this podcast last year because I want to get some kids involved too, some of the student athletes, and Trevor would have been a good one.
yeah,
Especially with the senior season he had in both sports.
yeah,
You got to coach him in both sports. What
Yeah.
a treat.
he
He made you look good.
for sure. The last couple of games I didn't even call plays. He called them all.
For which sport are you talking about?
In football.
Really?
He called them all because we were struggling to start the games well, but we like at the end of halves and then end of games when we were doing like our 2-minute drill type stuff where he has to call it so we can go fast. We would always did well with that, so we said, well, why don't we just try that to start the game? And we did that at the end of the RTR game or at the start of the RTR game, that last game of the year, and it worked really well. So
it sure did.
we went into the MCC game. That was our plan, and that's how we practiced all week was him calling it and them getting used to that. And so he called 90% of the plays that game that we really gave MCC trouble on that side of the ball. But
Well, what'd you do then during those games?
oh,
Did you just sit back by the cooler?
I just yelled and random stuff. No, I'd usually call the first play of the series, like when we were going in. So I'd give them a play, and then if that worked, I would in the headset I'd always be like, "You guys knew I called that, right? I called that, right?"
If it worked, yeah.
Yeah, if it didn't, I'd blame it on
That's
Trevor.
Trevor.
But so yeah, it was. I just gave him some ideas. When he was out there, I said, maybe this, maybe this, maybe this, and he ran with it, and it was, we had never really done that before, full time, and it was pretty fun. So,
Well, let's just look over the schedule quick. We don't have to break down everything intimately or anything, but like we said, August 28th, the Panthers are hosting McRae. All games start at 7:00. You got a couple teams on your schedule this year that, well, I know are perennially tough. What do you know about McRae?
McRae, we haven't played for a while, long time, but we usually see a film or two on them every year because of somebody else that we're played them. And we got a couple from last year that we've been watching. They got a good quarterback back and some good skill players, and some of their line was really young last year. So I think they're going to be a good football team. You never know until that you play that first game, but I think they're getting better. So.
Speaking of unfamiliar foes, United South Central. I don't know where Wells is. I think it's by Mankato.
Yeah, somewhere by
Hours
Mankato.
away. Thanks for that.
That's not me, but
I think Tower said the Panthers played him in a playoff game.
Yep.
The last time you played him was a playoff game?
yeah, when we went to state in either 13 or 15, I can't remember which one it was, but we played them in the semifinal of the section. I think they were the 2 seed and we were the 3, and
Okay.
so we went up there and played, and it was a long trip, I remember, and they have a cool field. It's kind of in a bowl type thing.
Those
so,
are nice.
Yeah.
I like those. I don't mind the drive there. It's the drive back after the game.
Yeah.
It's dark. I'm tired.
Yeah.
I'm trying to, think of what I'm writing about and everything, but I know that's a long drive. And then we have Springfield after that, and we all know enough about Springfield to
Yeah.
make us want to forget the past.
Yeah, for sure. They're three years in a row state runners up, so they're going to be good again, and like they always are. And they just seem to keep getting some really good athletes around there.
How does a team like Springfield or Minnesota sustain that success? I mean, it's crazy how every year you can almost pencil them in that they're going to be representing their section at state.
Yeah, I think once you do it a few years, I think it gets easier, like to kind of sustain it, because kids, like when they're younger, see it and they're like, I want to be on that team, I want to do that, and then when they're practicing, they're like they go harder, whatever. But you gotta you got to have those years first. Like you have to have those 3 to years where things just go well for you. And I feel like we just haven't had that.
The consistency.
That many years in a row that where everyone's like, yeah, I just want to be on that football team and I want to win a section and type of thing. So
Well, that doesn't mean you haven't had good teams.
no, yeah, for sure.
We've
We've
had a lot of good teams throughout the years.
Yep.
You've been consistently at that kind of above 500 mark. I don't think last year was last year.
No, last year was 3-6, which
you
was
did
probably the
last year.
first time in
Yep.
since I think would have been Kynes' first year we were under, but so that was probably 2010, or not 10, 16 or something like that. So we've had really good years and a few in a row, but just never kind of got over the top and done it over and over and over again.
Well, those teams like Springfield, Minnesota, I think people forget it's the program. It's not just the varsity team because it's if you want to sustain it 5 years down the road, it's those 7th graders, even the Cubs level players that
Right.
when they get introduced to football. The next opponent, more familiar one, Sleepy Eye United. That's an interesting team since they kind of paired the 2 schools together over in Springfield.
Yeah,
Sleepy Eye.
they made it. They made themselves a pretty good football team when they paired a lot of kids. They have now and a good football team the last couple of years.
Next up, on the 26th of September, you're going to Tyler again to face the Knights. They've had some down years in the recently. What do you see out of the Knights this year?
I know they got a new coach, Kern, that was the basketball coach for a long time. That he won some state championships when he was coaching in basketball.
He's the new football coach.
He's the new football coach, and I know him a little bit, and I think he'll do a good job with them. And they've had some athletes around there, and just kind of never put it together. So I expect them to be a good team, I think, this year.
Homecoming game October 3rd is those darn Rebels.
Yeah.
That's going to be a big game. I mean, we all know the rivalry, the helmet, the helmet game and everything, but it's kind of cool that they're your homecoming opponent this year.
Yeah. I want to say last year was it last year too they were, or
I think it was when I as I was saying that
or maybe the year
I think
before.
it was I know it was recent that you had them for homecoming.
And that I like it. I know they're going to be really good, but I know our kids want to play them even be with that, like they want to compete against them, and
they all know each other.
Yeah.
So
And we see them at DSU camp. They go down there, and their coaches are all really good guys and fun to talk to. But that's the team, if any, that we want to beat around here. So
it's a fun rivalry for sure. Next up, KMS. Another nice little trip over to Kirkhoven. Well, we end up going to Kirkhoven and Olivia to end the season.
Yeah. KMS, I don't know much about right now.
No, that's a ways away.
That's a ways away. And then Bold, I do know a little bit about just because Flan's there now. And so I talk to him quite a bit. And, we talk about how what we got and stuff. So I know they're going to be a good team again.
So I'm interested and curious, why does the schedule look like this? I mean, you got your Tyler, your RTRs and your MCCs, but we throw in Bold, KMS, United South Central, McRae. Was this a sectional thing or?
So they redid the sections, and our section is those 5 teams that are familiar, or not really. Bold's one of them, but Bold got moved into our section. So there are our 6th team in our section. Wabasso went 9-man, and Adrian went 9-man. So we lost a couple of teams that we usually have in our section.
Okay.
And so we have the RTR in Springfield and Sleepy Eye and MCC and Bold and us that are the 6 teams. So then the district sets up the schedule. They decided to make sure you play your section teams. And so we play those 5. And then every other game, whether, some sections have 7 or 8, so they play more section or section opponents. But every other game is just a crossover game, and basically our whole our district is the whole south end of Minnesota. So there's teams that I think like Springfield might have to go to Hayfield or something like. So he just kind of matched them up with like how you've been in the last couple of years. So you're playing a team kind of like yourself,
Like record wise, you
talking? Like
numbers.
how your program's been the last few years. Like he wasn't going to put a team that was 0-8 for 3 years against a team that was 8-0 just because they were close or whatever. So kind of more matched up that way, and that's why we got a couple long trips this year. But luckily they come here next year, so that will help travel wise.
Nice. Well, thanks for joining us, Coach Kruse. You are off the hot seat. I appreciate your time.
All right, thank you.
This week's podcast was brought to you by the Tracy Area Chamber of Commerce. The train is coming to town. The world's only Boxcar Days is coming Labor Day weekend. Midway, food, softball tournament, mud volleyball tournament, beer tent, free street dance Saturday night, Kids Day in the Park Sunday, Miss Tracy program Sunday evening, and the annual parade on Monday at 1 p.m. sharp. August 29th through September 1st, there is something for everyone. You don't want to miss out. Join us in Tracy for the world's only Boxcar Days Labor Day weekend.